Good day, children. Let us start in English literature. Little Deer and the Trap. Oh, oh, this little deer is crying softly, whimpered. Little deer is crying softly as he woke up one morning. His head ached, that means head was paining, something that had never happened before. Mother, dear mother, cried little deer, my head aches as if it's bursting. Whatever can it be? Mother deer looked at her little one's head and laughed. That looks like a little bump to me, she said. You'll be soon getting a pair of antlers. What are antlers, children? Those are the horns of the deer, the branched horns. Antlers, little deer cried excitedly. Will I get antlers like great Uncle Stag? He asked. Children, stag is the male deer. A male deer is known as a stag. Now this little deer was a small boy now. So he was getting to the antlers were just coming, and so it was paining in his head. Not quite like great Uncle Stag, his mother replied. Not all deer get them quite as fine as he does. Come, I will take you to your great Uncle Stag and he will give you some of his wisdom. Then maybe one day you too will have a pair of antlers just like him. I told you the meaning. What are antlers? The horns, the branched horns. And so little deer went to great Uncle Stag's school and soon learnt all the tricks of the herd. Now we have seen what is a herd. It is a collective noun when animals move in a group. So these animals, they learn the tricks, how to protect themselves when they are in the jungle, the ways to protect themselves. He learned to roam through the jungle facing the wind. The wind would carry to him the scent of his enemies, but not his scent to them. Little deer learned how to prick up his ears. Prick means to listen, raise the ears and listen attentively to the slightest sound. He learned how to keep perfectly still. He learned many more tricks. Now all these tricks are for him to protect him from the enemies when he is in the jungle. Little deer learned to stay close to the herd and not to stray too far off on his own. That means go away from his herd where all the other deers are. But every once in a while he did do so just to see what would happen. That means he would leave the herd and go and see what will happen if he is alone. And one day something really happened. While little deer was roaming through the jungle on his own, he went further in than he had ever before. That means he went inside the jungle. There he saw some tender plants, some small soft plants. Surely they are greener and juicier than anything I have had before, thought little deer. He nibbled at the leaves. He chewed the leaves of a bush. They were tasty. Little deer went closer to get at the tender leaves when suddenly he was caught by something cold and hard. He was caught in a hunter's trap, and it was exactly the way Great Uncle Stag had said it would be. That means a net was there. A hunter had set a net, a trap to catch this any animal who would come there, and this little deer was trapped in that net. How I wish I had listened to Great Uncle Stag, little deer thought to himself. He thought hard. What was it that Great Uncle Stag taught me about traps? Oh yes, he taught me to play dead. It suddenly struck him. That means to pretend as if he is dead. And little deer kept absolutely still and quiet, pretending to be dead for one whole day. The flies didn't bother him because they thought he was dead. And then came the hunter, and he too thought that little deer was dead. I will tie up the deer and take him home, the hunter thought. He opened the trap and went to fetch some ropes to get some ropes. Little deer waited till the hunter was a little distance away. Then he leapt high in the air and ran away. He jumped, he took a long jump and ran away from there. Hey, hey, the hunter shouted. Little deer didn't stop, of course. He ran fast, facing the wind through the dense jungle and past little pools. He ran as fast as his little legs would carry him. He stopped only once to have water. He bent down at the edge of a pool, and as he did so, he saw his reflection. You all know the meaning of reflection? Yes, I am sure you all remember when you see your own image in the mirror or the glass, even in water. Then he saw that he had started growing a fine pair of antlers. Little deer was so happy, he ran straight back to his herd.